Golden State Warriors star guard Klay Thompson unlikely to play at all this season as he recovers from a torn ACL. That, according to Coach Steve Kerr. A huge blow. Michael Wilbon back here with us. Great to have you. Stephen A., your reaction?
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Listen, of course it's possible. Of course Steve Kerr is going to have that kind of mentality. But you know Klay. I know a little bit about Klay. I know his daddy ain't going to let him play unless he's 100%. I get that. But the reality of the situation is that April, May, and June is a long way away from right now. We will see. And I'm not ruling out Klay being out for the season until I hear it from Klay Thompson. I'm sorry. I'm just not fine. I'm just not doing it.
Ready for this? Here, I'll one-up you. I don't care. Like, this season's not what it's about for me with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson and his father is a friend and colleague of everyone sitting here.
Yes.
Klay Thompson, and by the way, Michael Thompson's great on boxing, too. I don't know if people know.
Yes, he knows boxing, yeah.
Klay Thompson is a truly great player in his prime. He is the hottest shooter who ever lived. I don't want to hear about a second place. This man dropped 37 and a quarter, and in the same season dropped 26 and a quarter. And you saw what he was doing in the finals right when he got hurt. And he's a two-way player. He's a great defender, too. I'm not so worried about this season, because I wasn't expecting the Warriors to win a title because of the injury, and they lost Durant. They couldn't really replace him. I'm worried about the rest of Klay's career. Everyone assumes, look, it's not an Achilles, it's an ACL. So everyone's like, well, it's not Durant. Wait a minute. Most people who've ever had this injury have returned as some lesser version of themselves. Yes, a lot of those injuries were in the past, like Bernard King or Baron Davis or someone like that. And Zach LaVine and Kristaps Porzingis are playing again. But this is not like a slam dunk, so to speak. He'll be back as Klay Thompson, and he'll be the exact same guy. My main concern is that Klay becomes 100% of himself again. I don't care if it's this season. If he has to take this whole season off to do it going forward, that's what I care about.
It still takes a year plus to come back and fully recover from this injury. And this is the conservative course, and it's the smart course. And Klay Thompson is 29 years old. He's not 22 or 3 coming back from this. He is in his physical prime. But there's no need to rush back. There's none whatsoever. They're not going to challenge for a championship without that full roster the entire season anyway. So this just seems to be the smart way to go. I don't disagree with you, by the way, because this does tamp down expectations.
That's right.
And with the daily asking of Steve Kerr, when are we going to see Klay? Right. When are we going to see Klay? This sort of tamps that down. And if Klay feels like it, in March, he could. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to rule it out like you, but I think it is another downer, though. It's another downer to start this season. That's right. To not have Zion Williamson, to not have Klay Thompson. And I don't want to hear about 2021. This season matters. I'll think about next season. This season.
Were they going to win the title?
What I've been waiting for.
Were they going to win the title?
Is this season.
But the Warriors weren't going to win the title
about next year. This season matters, okay? I'm not saying the Klay Thompson, of course, don't come back unless you're 100%. But I can't stand people. Listen, we walk around every day. Hell, some of us go to church every Sunday, talk about tomorrow ain't guaranteed. But we're going to look forward to next year? No.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
No.
Hold on, Mom.
One second. I need to
This is what I care about.
Let me respond to that.
Go ahead, Max.
Go ahead.
Of course, this season matters, but this season is about the Lakers and the Clippers, and we talked about it, the Nuggets and the Jazz and the Rockets and the Sixers and the Bucks and the Celtics. This season is less about the Warriors.
That's blasphemous.
I'm worried about Klay Thompson going forward.
Of course you are, Max. Like we want him to go on the court and get hurt. Of course we don't. Of course, that's a given. But the point is this. Let's not act like a healthy Klay. I'm going to say it again because, see, you hard-headed sometimes. Klay Thompson, a healthy Klay Thompson, without Kevin Durant, they'd have smoked Toronto. A healthy Klay Thompson with Steph Curry.
That's why they were in Game 6.
They would have beat them.
They would smoke Toronto, but they couldn't defend home court.
Did Klay Thompson get hurt in Game 2, yes or no?
Yes.
Did he miss a game in that? Yes, he did. I'm saying they'd have took Toronto out in 6. And with Kevin Durant, they might have swept them. So my point to you is this. With Klay Thompson, a healthy Klay Thompson, and a healthy Steph Curry, I believe Golden State could possibly knock folks off and get to the conference finals.
Time out. He wasn't going to be healthy this year. Even if he got back, you heard what Michael just said. He's right. You don't come back as what you were. It takes you like a year to come back when you start playing to be what you were.
But let me tell you this. You don't come back to what you were when you're an athlete, but when you're a shooter, it's possible.
Was Bernard King a shooter?
No.
Bernard King
he was a scoring machine, but he was not a shooter. He was not a shooter.
How's Bernard King's mid-range?
Listen, mid-range game, yes, but we know when you ask a question about shooting. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to Max Kellerman.
There was no three-point shooters.
It might not be you. Your head might be a little bit different.
There was no three-point shooters basically in 1982. What are you talking about?
Well, I could bring up Ricky Pierce. I could bring up Dale Ellis. I could bring up a whole bunch of people. Excuse me, really. Come on now. Come on now. Don't let me give you basketball lessons now. Don't let me do it. Don't let me do it.
We can interrupt just for a second. Does this put Golden State out of the playoffs for this season?
No, but it does make them go home in the first round.
Agreed. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.